I assume there's probably not a good there's probably a good reason for it. So here we are. Welcome to round 5 of the Star City Games Open Series. I'm Gavin Verhey, joined here by Big Head Joe in Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, actually.
We are in Fort Worth, Texas.
And we've got a cool feature match here between two 4-0 players. On your left, Chris Elrod. Chris is playing green-white, kind of green and taxes deck, but a couple new innovations. He's got Green Sun Zenith, which can get Dryad Arbor. He's got the Mangara Corn or Caracas engine. He has Natural Order in his deck also, so he can Natural Order up Terastodon or Progenitus. And he's a sideboard Enlightened Tutor package with a bunch of bullets, which can get Copred, which is going to be an issue for his opponent, Richard Aaron Wayne, who is playing Mono Red The End. 4 Ball Lightning, 4 Goblin Guide, 4 Price of Progress, 4 Fire Blast, 4 Searing Blaze, 4 Chain Lightning, 4 Lightning Bolt. You fill in the blanks, like it's all here. His sideboard has some Pithy Needles, and Pyrostatic Pillar, Smash the Smithereens, Relic of Progenitus, Red Elemental Blast, and Pyroblast. So
3 Enlightened Tutors.
3 Enlightened Tutors, so 4 total Coppers.
Right, basically.
Man, still haven't heard from our any of our listeners about us asking for them to tweet at us. So I'm getting kind of concerned that we've accrued quite the delay.
Well, in the meantime, we're here live, and Chris plays a Noble Hierarch to Aaron's Mountain. And then Chris is going to play Qasali Primage. It's F&M Primage. I couldn't see what it was at first. And then a Mother of Runes.
Well, pretty good start for Chris, fast out of the gates. All right, bolts that Mother of Runes. Aaron knows it's going to be a problem.
Absolutely.
And Lightning Bolt goes down.
Yeah, this is some
cracks
old
Aaron
school
Mesa.
looking mono. Look at the Beta Mountains.
Perhaps. I'm always concerned that they're Arabian Night Mountains, but they might be.
I think
mountains.
those are betas.
You think they're betas? I would trust you on this one, so I'll take your word for it. They look like beta mountains. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're beta. Or at least alpha. I can never remember the difference between the two.
I don't think you can't run alpha.
Oh, because of the corners?
Yeah.
Alright, Searing Blaze. He's like, kill your Noble Hierarch, 3 damage to you. Nice little burn spell there.
Searing Blaze. Pretty awesome.
A Pride Mage comes down, smacks Aaron for 3. There's a Misty Rainforest.
GT comes down.
Okay, GT is going to be quite the beating for Aaron Wayne. He's going to have to basically keep Chris off of all of his creatures, otherwise that GT is going to get active. Of course, he can kind of make it into a Tempo Black hole for Chris too by burning the Pride Mage every time he equips it. And as a mono red deck, I'm sure he has no problem finding plenty of burn spells.
Sure.
Aaron is figuring out what the right plan of attack is. Sorry, a bunch of tweets just came in. Let's see. Okay, so just heard this. So it looks like we're back to about a 7-minute delay now. But I mean, as long as you guys are still getting it okay, and I haven't seen a ton of complaints in the past little bit, knocking on wood, but knocking on the table really. But I think it'll be okay. A little bit of a delay, but that's fine. You guys are still seeing it. That's what counts. So
we won't tweet the results.
We won't tweet the results and ruin it for you guys. So Chris,
cracked 2 fetches there.
Getting some basic lands and going to equip that GT. 2 fetch lands. Aaron's like, yeah, sure, go for it. Shock yourself. Our Natural Order. Let me show you a Progenitus.
Well.
Huh. Aaron wasn't planning for this one. And such is the danger of going for, of waiting until your opponent's turn to bolt. Now, interestingly enough, Aaron can still maybe take this down if he has enough burn spells. Because he can survive 1 hit from the Progenitus, and protection from everything means you can't equip GT to Progenitus.
True.
And gain the life.
Very true.
So the question is, can Aaron Wayne deal 15 points of damage in his next 2 turns?
Please report to Judge Trey right
That's
here.
actually Terrastodon.
Oh, Terrastodon, destroy your 3 mountains? Or no, he destroyed his 3 mountains. That's going to be enough damage to kill Aaron. And you can definitely equip GTA to those too. Alright, that's a problem. Aaron has to basically have a ton of burn here and then a ton of burn on his turn, or he's done for.
Yeah. Tough break here for Aaron. It is cool to see Red Deck make a reappearance here. Frankly, surprised he didn't go for Progenitus, but he's probably right.
I mean, I would definitely go for Terrastodon because it kills Aaron on this next attack step. Doesn't give him any extra time to kill him.
Now he has to like waste burn on the little tokens or whatever else. I think he burned out one of the elephants with a bolt.
Yeah, Aaron's like, can I do enough? Do I have a way to do enough? Or can I kill some tokens? So if he kills a token, if he kills 2 tokens, he can buy in 1 turn. But that G-Tail might still gain him some life if he has another land to play to equip it.
Yeah. Yeah, GT is pretty brutal. Yeah, he's scooping him up.
Yeah, and that's that.
I think he had just cast another natural order too, or he was fetching.
Cool. Well, I mean, he couldn't cast another natural order with his 1 land.
Good question. Good point.
I mean,
good point.
all right, and that's that. So Chris Elrod quickly steals the game for the Mono Red Aaron Wayne.
Someone just asked for us to make sure we have the face cams ready for when Circle of Protection Red drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has 1 Circle of Protection Red and 3 Enlightened Tutors. So basically 4 Copper Reds.
Yeah.
On the sideboard.
So see if we can get that going for you. Yeah, I mean, this matchup seems like it might actually be kind of tough for the red player. I mean, green-white can essentially kill out of nowhere with natural order granted. Red can just clear their creatures, but then they're not burning the face. Not too many non-basics. There's some basic lands in here, so Price of Progress isn't that great. The copper out of the sideboard doesn't help things either. Yeah, Mother Runes is an issue. Yeah, I'd say that I'd say Chris Elrod is favored in this matchup, but I mean, of course, mono red burn, you get a good draw, especially on the play like this game.
Yeah.
You can easily take it down. It's cool to see something like this, though.
Imagine if you went turn 1 Pithing Needle naming Circle Protection Red
Huh. Sure.
on the play. That'd be pretty hilarious. It
Yeah.
obviously wouldn't happen, but
I mean, it could.
it could.
Could happen. So what do you think we're going to board here? So from mono red's side, they will just smash the Smithereens because I think the GTA has to die, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. GTA definitely has to.
So
go.
Smash the Smithereens comes in. Other than that, I think that's probably the only card, which is good because in mono red you don't want to take out a bunch of your burn spells. You want to stay pretty efficient. Pyrostatic Pillar is a thing, but I don't know if it's going to do what it really wants to do here. It gives you some damage in the late game, but like over time in the game, but there's also the chance that he doesn't do much. He hasn't really seen enough of Chris Elrod's deck to know if it's going to be effective or not. but we could potentially see some Power Static Pillars. On the other side, I think we'll see Enlightened Tutor, obviously, for Cop Red, obviously, so that's 4 cards. The question to me is if he's going to bring in those Path to Exiles or not. They're really good in the matchup if he knows Richard Wayne's deck lists, but because of all the unearthed creatures.
Right.
But I don't know if he's, he didn't see any of those in the first game. So, let's see what happens. Players thinking about their options, and looks like the sideboard pretty fast though. So, players pile shuffling it up. This green-white deck is really interesting. I mean, it takes kind of what the green and taxes deck was doing, and it just adds in all the insane packages other decks are using, right? It's got Natural Order in it.
Yeah.
It's got Green Sun Zenith in it. You can go with your Dryad Arbor. I mean, it's got a number of really cool things going on with it. It's got the Mangara Caracas interaction.
Got a Progenitus.
Yeah, I mean, you can just Natural Order something up on turn 3, or you can play the long game.
You could Green Sun Zenith up a Progenitus.
You most certainly could. I would be willing to bet it has happened once, at least once with him. Not in this tournament, but in his playtesting. Assuming he's playtested the deck a lot, which I think he probably has for something like this.
Yeah, you would think so.
It looks like with the Enlightened Tutor package too, he's pretty refined in his deck choice and his playtesting. I have obviously nothing to base this off of, like personally from talking with him, because I haven't ever talked to him, but just by looking at the cards in his deck, it seems like something well tested.
Yeah, I agree.
So here we go. The players take their opening hands. Looks like Swords to Plowshares and a bunch of lands in Chris Elrod's hand. All right, so Mount for Aaron Wayne, and then he passes. Elrod plays Savannah and Green Sun Zenith for 0. Going to go find Dryad Arbor. And I wonder if we'll just see an end of turn Lightning Bolt or something on the Arbor.
Seems likely.
I mean, if he has it, I imagine it'll come down. He doesn't want Chris to accelerate, and plus, like we saw, he has to keep Chris's board clear of creatures, because Natural Order is a cost, not on resolution.
Right. So you can't respond to it.
Right, you can't respond to sacrificing the creature, so if he has any green creature out, he can Natural Order.
Okay, so he goes Searing Blaze instead.
Draws. Mr. Rainforest.
Now Chris needs to draw the Enlightened Tutor or the Cop Red to really make it effective.
So I think we see Goblin Guide. Yep.
Yeah.
Serving for 5. Flips over Natural Order. So now he knows he has to play around Natural Order.
Yep.
Huh. All right. Takes it. It's gonna be, or I guess it's gonna be swords in here. Yep, swords. And what's going on?
Huh? Oh, I was just saying that card is...
No, like in the match, players seem to have paused. Sean, can we get confirmation of what's going on? Looks like they paused for some reason.
There's a question as to whether or not Chris said that he was going to take damage before playing.
Finding out for you why that stopped there for a second. Alex Berncini still undefeated, 5-0. Needs one more win. Hey, we're back in the booth.
Hello.
Needs one more win to draw into top 8. Good work for Alex Berncini.
So while we're paused here, the white. Oh.
Oh, so it's probably pre or post combat is what I would imagine. When the swords was cast. Okay. So while they determine what's happening there, Joe, you had something to say?
Oh, I don't know why. Did this come up earlier?
Yeah, with Drew Levin when I was talking with him. We were wondering what the white pitch card was, because Forceful was part of a cycle. There were 5 of them.
Right.
There's Pyrokinesis, Bounty of the Hunts,
Contagion.
Contagion, yeah. And then Force of Will, obviously. And I said that one already. And then the white one we didn't know, Scars of the Veteran.
Scars of the Veteran is an instant for a white and 4. You can exile a white card from your hand. Prevent the next 7 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. At the beginning of the next end step, put a +0/+1 counter on that creature for each 1 damage prevented that way.
So the card not that exciting. What is more interesting, as Jed Cad pointed out on Twitter, is it looks pretty close to Big Head Joe. I can totally see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Pretty.
He's got the hair.
Definitely has the hair. Doesn't have the beard, but you can tell he's working on it.
He's definitely working on it.
He's got that. Maybe he's has trouble growing facial hair. Who knows?
I just need a broadsword now. That's the second time I brought a broadsword this weekend.
Everything's better when you have a broadsword.
Like that. Sword's pointing down, by the way. Yeah. Awesome.
Perfect. Has the match restarted yet? Or are they're still talking? All right, so they're still talking. So for those of you who are just joining us, there's or who just aren't clear what's going on. Basically, Chris Elrod attacked with 2 creatures, Goblin Guide and Spark Elemental, and then Richard cracked his land. He thought for a while, cracked his land and cast Swords of Plowshares. And Richard thought that Chris had already taken the damage. Obviously, Chris wanted to cast Swords before damage so that he didn't take extra damage. But there's some kind of confusion going on, and they have the judge resolving the issue right now. Alex Bertoncini walked by just to give us the thumbs up. He's 5-0. One more win, he locks another top A with his fish deck. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It just shows you what those 2 buys can
Pretty
do.
Awesome.
I mean, not to mention, along with 2 buys, is all those points. It's $100 just for showing up. Soon you might get $250 just for showing up to one of these tournaments. After that, maybe he'll get 4x of every place out of every card in Standard.
That's a lot.
Every time it comes out. I mean, it's totally unbelievable. So definitely try and come out to these events, and if you do well, it's worth traveling to all of them. Players like Edgar Flores, who basically came out of nowhere, I think, for a lot of people. Did well in one event and was like, I'm just going to go to all of them, and it's paid off really well for him. He knows what he's doing. He keeps winning. But if there's not an event close to you, you can play in the invitational qualifiers, and at the end of each season, and there are 2 seasons per year, one for the first 6 months, one for the second 6 months, there's the StarCityGames.com Invitational, which you have to do well in an open series to be invited to. Or now, there are these invitational qualifiers, and this pays out a ton of money. It's worth going to, it's qualifying for, and so your local stores can just run these IQs, the invitational qualifiers, and if you win one, you get qualified for the invitational, which pays out a ton of money. It's totally worth trying to qualify for. It's like going to a Grand Prix, probably better. Yeah. And the Pro Tours, if you're trying to prepare to play on a Pro Tour, this is a great way to do it. All the best players in the U.S. are going to be there.
All right, we're back.
So now we're back. Looks like they resolved the issue. I'm not sure what happened.
Looks like the Swords was pre-combat.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine that the way it worked out is pre-combat.
Searing Blaze and then I think a fetch land.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I figured it would work out. But we got Tarmogoyf from Chris Elrod, leaving up a Wasteland.
Down comes Ball Lightning.
Straight out of the old school.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the dark, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Ball Lightning comes in, crashes. Chris is like, oh, I don't know. I've faced a Ball Lightning in a long time. What am I going to do against that?
You're going to take 6, what you're going to do.
That's right. Chris drops all the way down to 10. And Aaron still has, I think he still has some cards left, too. So a couple burn spells should be enough. Aaron should still have plenty of cards at this point. He's only used a couple. Any in? Yeah, okay. And I think that Spark Gun will end up in his graveyard, so we can unearth it.
Hellspark?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I didn't quite see what happened with that Swords to Plowshares because it cut away. But the Goblin Guide vanished, so I imagined that he swords the Goblin Guide, but maybe not.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, he swords both of them. He had 2 swords.
Oh,
Okay.
right on.
So that's how they both vanished. All right. So Aaron's holding 2 cards, I believe. He tosses something out there. I'm not sure what it is. Looks like maybe a fetch land. I don't know. Chris cracks his fetch land. Speaking of. Someone on the Twitter feed was talking about a Green Sun Zenith for Progenitus. I'm going to add that in Elves. Just the other day in Extended, I saw a Scapeshift player playing against Elves, and Scapeshift player was ready to go off next turn, and the Elves player was doing things, and he cast Green Sun Zenith for 7 mana, and the guy's like, oh, he's just gonna get Regal Force, let's resolve. He's just like, whatever, resolves.
Right.
And he got Realm Razor and exiled all the Scapeshift players' lands. Turns out Realm Razor is certainly a green creature.
That is true. That's awesome.
It is pretty sweet. So let's see, Chris adds another creature to his arsenal. I'd imagine it's Nether Reliquary, but I couldn't quite see it. Yep, Nether Reliquary. 4/4 Nether Reliquary. And Aaron flicking a couple cards, trying to figure out how he can deal that last 9 points of damage.
Still no Circle of Protection red from Chris.
It would be sweet if we saw it. It'd be too bad if this match happened and we just never saw it, right? Like, he just didn't even need it to win.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Let's see.
Somebody asked how many lands the red deck is winning. Red deck is winning. Red deck wins. Red deck
12, 16,
lands.
24, it looks
Yeah,
like.
24 lands,
Including 4 Teetering Peaks.
8 mountains, and 12 fetch lands.
Wow. A lot of fetch lands.
It's not playing around on the fetch lands.
Yeah, I mean, like, in a deck like this where you have to draw every burn spell, the damage to yourself is almost inconsequential, and being able to thin your deck is relevant. I mean, if you crack 3 or 4 fetch lands, it can matter. 1 fetch land on its own probably isn't going to do a lot. Looks like Chris is flicking a mountain and some other spell there. I didn't quite catch what it was. Man, things looking not looking great for Aaron Wayne, but at the same time, he's just a couple burn spells away from pulling out a victory. So,
Yeah.
I mean, on the board, he's obviously down, but that's how the red decks work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 6 damage is not hard for him to get through. I mean, he could drop a ball lightning and just, that's game at this point. There's an end of turn bolt, taking him to 3. And I see he's got 3 fetch lands here. It looks like he's thinking about cracking all of them, going to 1. Okay, he's going to go to 2.
All right, drops to 2. Let's see what we have. All right, what's he gonna do? All right, Chris down to 3. Chris at 3, Aaron at 2.
It's a pretty close game.
All right, what do we think is gonna happen?
Well, you can unearth Hellspark Elemental. No, Hellspark got.
Yeah,
got
oh, and there it is.
There's
Chain
the
lightning
one.
off the top. Tap 1, swords my own creature. Yeah, he has it, and that's Smash Smithereens stick in his hand. Aaron loses down 2 quick games.
Not bad.
Wow. So never got to see the Copperhead happen. I wonder if he's going to show him. I want to see if he's going to show him. I think he is.
Yeah, I think he just did.
Yeah, he shows him the Copperhead out of the sideboard.